Today, we will be discussing the impact that Cristiano Ronaldo's recent transfer to Italian giants Juventus could have for the rest of the footballing world. On July the 4th, 2018, it was announced that a deal between Juventus and Real Madrid for Ronaldo was in the pipeline, with a figure in the region of £88 million being waved about. Yet, despite the enormity of the potential transfer, no one really cared. Talk of a Ronaldo-Real Madrid breakup was after all not out of the ordinary. In fact, most of the recent summer transfer windows had featured a rumour that CR7 could well be on his way to another of Europe's elite sides. Yet, year after year, it ended in the same outcome: a new contract for Los Blancos' crown jewel, which without fail included a tidy wage increase for the Portuguese hitman. This year, as far as the Real Madrid board was concerned, nothing had changed. After all, Ronaldo's contract still featured a hefty €1 billion release clause, a figure that even the most profligate clubs in world football would likely balk at. However, this serenity soon retreated for panic, following a fateful meeting between Ronaldo and the Real Madrid president Florentino Perez, in which the former outlined his desire to pursue a move to Juventus. Ronaldo, arguably the greatest player to have ever graced their side, had frankly contributed too much to be held ransom at a club that he wished to leave, and thus, the board agreed to move him on. Just a week along the line and the move was completed. However, Madrid actually managed to squeeze an extra £11.2 million out of the Turin-based side, taking the total spend to the brink of £100 million. Not bad for a 33-year-old. However, Perez and the new coach Lopetegui now face a summer of uncertainty and upheaval as they attempt to achieve the impossible and replace possibly the greatest goal scorer in modern football history. Remarkably, Ronaldo's move to Juve appears set to be the first and potentially simplest domino to collapse in a transfer merry-go-round that could span the length of the summer transfer window. Real Madrid have stumbled across over €100 million, the which they will attempt to achieve two primary goals. One, inject much needed quality into a side that has struggled on the domestic front for nearly a decade. And two, acquire at least one Galactico caliber player, the likes of which they have not seen since James Rodriguez's arrival in 2014. The obvious solution to this dilemma would be Chelsea's Belgian maverick Eden Hazard. The 27-year-old winger is more of a creative force than the man he'd be replacing, and at 6 years his junior, arguably has his best footballing days ahead of him. Adding fuel to this fire, following his stellar recent World Cup performances, Hazard admitted that now may be as good a time as any to call it quits on his Stamford Bridge career, and has previously spoken of his desire to one day play for Los Blancos. The second area for improvement the Real are calling out for is in the goalkeeping department, and their primary target holds a striking familiarity to Hazard, as fellow Belgian and Chelsea star Thibaut Courtois is himself also touted to be on his way to Spain. The 6'6" shot stopper previously spent 3 years on loan at Atletico Madrid, and as a result, his children and wife still live in the city that he considers his home. Courtois has on many occasions stated a desire to one day be reunited in Spain, and now with just a year left on his contract, it appears that his wish could be fulfilled. However, one must realise that neither of these deals are inevitable. Chelsea, a huge club in their own right, have just appointed the attack-minded former Napoli coach Maurizio Sarri, and would be likely to be unwilling to lose two of their prized assets in the same window, meaning that Hazard could yet be set for another year in London, as his contract is in not as tenuous a position as that of Courtois'. So let's say hypothetically that Courtois goes and Hazard stays. Madrid would truly only have achieved one of their aims, that being having made an improvement to their side, as Courtois is a better goalkeeper than what they already have in Keylor Navas. However, a goalkeeper is unlikely to garner the tag of Galactico. Furthermore, a Ronaldo-shaped hole still sits square in the Madrid starting lineup. So, with Hazard still stuck in London, who else could we see in the famous all-white next year? Obvious candidates to fill such a berth would be the likes of Paris Saint-Germain starlets Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. However, may both prove too expensive, even for the likes of Real. Furthermore, a previously disgruntled Neymar is said to be back on board in France, following the comforting words of newly appointed German coach Thomas Tuchel. More probable arrivals could take the shape of Argentine and Inter Milan forward Mauro Icardi, or Bayern frontman Robert Lewandowski. Yet, while both offer bags of goals, Ronaldo's creativity and ability to exploit wide positions could yet be missed. Step forward perhaps the stars that Real already have at their disposal, the likes of the injury-prone Gareth Bale, previously out of favour Isco, or the inconsistent Marco Asensio, all hoping to nail down a starting spot. Anyway, back to Courtois. Let's say he's a Madrista now. Chelsea will be on lookout for their own goalkeeper, and probably turn to Alisson Becker of Roma. Arguably the best in his position available on the market, the £70 million price tag that he would command has already put off the likes of Madrid. Yet, with a swelled transfer kitty and frank lack of other options, Chelsea would likely stump up the cash. One problem: at the time of making this video, Liverpool are circling, as they finally lose faith in this guy. And with the lure of Champions League football available, they could yet prime away from the grasp of Chelsea. So for now, let's leave a question mark lurking over Chelsea's goalkeeper situation. Either way, Alisson will be leaving Roma this summer, whether that is for the Cop or the Bridge. Therefore, Roma will find themselves in the same situation as that of what Real and Chelsea faced as they enter their own pursuit for a new number one. While funds are unlikely to be a stumbling block for the Italian side, their chief target, Danish keeper Kasper Schmeichel, will definitely not break the bank. Schmeichel, a Leicester legend in his own right following a 6-year stint at the Foxes, one that has spanned 2 different domestic leagues, a Champions League campaign and a fabled 5,000-1 title winning run, would likely be granted the opportunity to play in Europe once more, should he request it. The solution to Leicester's quest to replace their Great Dane could yet be a simple one, however, with recently relegated England number 2 Jack Butland seeking for a way out at Stoke, a move that could complete this transfer loop that has emerged. But incredibly, it could get more complicated. Let's say Liverpool get Alisson Becker rather than Chelsea, which, at the moment, seems likely. The Blues would be forced to pursue alternate goalkeeping targets, one of whom happens to be Kasper Schmeichel. One assumes that the Royal Blue of East London would be a more attractive destination than Roma, forcing the Italians to look elsewhere. Jack Butland, on the other hand, one imagines that if not needed by Leicester, then another Premier League club such as Newcastle or Fulham appear logical destinations, even if no interest has yet been reported. Guys, thanks a lot if you've made it to the end of the video. Be sure to subscribe for more weekly productions like this one. Feel free to drop a comment about anything I've mentioned in the video, and or any questions you'd like answering, or ideas you'd like to see come to the channel in the near future. If you'd like to see a part 2 in which we take a closer look at some other transfer merry-go-rounds that could arise from this deal, hit that like button to let me know, because I can assure you that this is only the beginning for what could only be seen as a crazy window. Anyway, see you guys next time.